Good morning, everybody. I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads, and it's time to talk about Facebook and Google advertising. And I asked just before the class started, who here has run ads on Facebook and who has run ads on Google? It's really important that if you're in real estate, I think it's a must. If you're trying to find more buyers and more sellers, it's the simplest way of capturing leads. If you're answering that question, great. Open up the GoToMeeting chat panel. There's a section called handouts, and you'll see these two handouts. One is called Facebook and Google ads. I recommend that you print this. And the other is called Top Tools for More Listings. And if you're interested in having more listings in your business, you want to be using these tools on this list. And on here, by the way, on Top Tools, one of the top ways of getting more listings is actually running ads on Facebook and Google. And so we'll be talking about that a little bit later. But let's look at this here, because this is the basis of the class, right? Facebook and Google ads. And so you want to connect, you want to have your account, connect your Facebook business page to our system. And when you're running ads, what's different about Listings to Leads and how you use our software, if you've been in real estate for a while and you paid companies for leads, you don't really know how they're getting. You don't know where they're doing it. Maybe it's Google, maybe it's on their own website, but it has nothing to do with your brand. You're just paying for leads, right? So they don't know that you're a realtor. You're just paying somebody like Zillow or Realtor.com, and they're sending you leads. When you're using Facebook and you connect your account, you have some business page, right? It's like you, the Rockstar Realtor, and you connect to Listings to Leads. And then when you run an ad, it's saying sponsored by your business page. This is awesome for you because it's one of the ways of building your brand. Many people will see that and go, okay, this is sponsored by you, the realtor. And so that's awesome for your brand. Every ad that you run on Facebook is seen by thousands of people. And so if you're doing this consistently, like minimally once a week, every month, thousands of people are going to start to recognize you are a realtor. And that's awesome for your brand, right? Now, if you're using our software, we're also going to get leads for you. Name, email, and phone number, pre-populated from the Facebook profiles. And this is really key. We have a lot of tools to capture leads in our platform. Some of them are free automated posts. Some of them are landing pages. Some of them are PDF guides. And there are different ways of getting people to those. You can have an e-flyer and people can click on a link and give you their information, or you can have a landing page and it might offer a home value or sign up for a free list of whatever. And it's going to ask people to fill something out. Put your name and email and phone number on this web page, right? We have so many tools that ask that. And I can tell you, we've been doing this for 15 years, and you probably know this from your own experience of capturing leads, and also this from just your own experience of surfing on the internet. When somebody asks you to put your name, email, and phone number on a web page, you hesitate, and you may not put that in there, right? And guess what? That's what's going on when you're using ads and even using tools like ours on the internet. People don't want to type stuff in, or they'll put in Mickey Mouse at Disney.com or whatever gibberish. You've seen that, right? But when you're using Facebook ads, everybody that has a Facebook account has a name, phone number, and email, and it's in their profile. And when they click the ad, this little window pops up and says, would you like that information? And it's yes, submit my info. And so their name, phone number, and email is automatically pulled up from their profile. They don't have to type anything in, and people are very comfortable giving you their info to get the information that they want that you're providing. So that's really, I have to tell you, of all the things that we do in Listings to Leads, if your goal is to find more buyers and more sellers and actually have conversations with them, you want to be using our Facebook ad software. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm going to show you that in a minute. And another nice thing about Facebook is you can run ads on early stage properties and you'll get buyer leads, name, email, and phone number. You can run ads on later stage properties like under contract or sold or pending, and you're going to get listing leads because the call to action is saying, hey, this is going to affect your home value. Click here for your home value, right? That's it. I'm going to show you what these look like and how to do it in a couple of minutes. But I want you to, one, print this piece of paper and leave it on your desk, and two, understand what it's saying. Now, if we keep going down the list, it says, hey, you can run ads on PDF guides on Facebook, right? There are actually 80 PDF guides in your account, and they're each branded to you on every page. They're all about 5 or 6 pages long. 40 are for home buyers and 40 are for home sellers. So you can make the decision. Do you want to talk to more buyers or more sellers? You could run an ad and you would get leads on either buyers and sellers from Facebook with it. Now, we also have landing pages, and landing pages are the default ones that come with your account are free home values, first time home buyer, and new construction, and I think a couple of others. And you can create your own landing pages. You can create custom ones. And then you can use Facebook to drive people to that and capture leads in that way. Okay, so that's, well, we'll go in and look at that. I'll show you how you do it. That's the power of Facebook, right? And I want to speak a little bit to that power. So I don't know, I talk to realtors every day, and I still hear, yeah, I saw the tsunami warning. That's weird. I talk to realtors every day, and I still hear almost every week, some realtor tell me, I don't really like social media, and I don't really I don't take care of my Facebook account, right? And stuff like that. Now, I'm on Facebook right now. This is Facebook right now. And if you noticed, I came in and I clicked on it, and I see one post by a friend. And this is how Facebook works. And you scroll down on the newsfeed, and the second post is an ad. Okay. Now, this is for I think it's Snagit, some kind of software for whatever. But that's how Facebook is. And so if I keep scrolling down, I'm going to see what my friends did last night and what my relatives have been doing and where people are going on vacation and what they're eating and all kinds of fun social media stuff. And in a few more posts, I'm going to see another ad by some other company. So that's how that's how your ads sit right here. And here it says shop now, right? Down here on the bottom right. But in our ads, it's going to say learn more. And when they click it, this little window pops up. Right. And let me click this. This is like a chat panel here. Right. And right here, it will have their name, phone number, and email. And it says, hey, would you like that information? And they can click yes. And then you get that information. We send that to you automatically. And if you have your CRM connected, we'll drop it in your CRM too. But that's how it works. So let me speak a little bit more about Facebook, because you probably don't know this. It is the 3rd most trafficked website on the internet. Okay. Number 3, American adults, not American teenagers, but American adults spend about 40 minutes every day scrolling through and seeing what their friends are doing. They drive there's my mom. They drive their car looking at Facebook. They sit on meetings. Here's Forever 21. They sit in meetings and looking at Facebook. They're standing in line at Starbucks looking at Facebook. Like, this thing just holds people's attention. Here's an ad for some theater, right? So that's why you want to be participating on Facebook. And I have to tell you this, because I have this conversation certainly every week. A lot of agents will say, I haven't been taking care of my social media. I don't really pay attention to it. So let's go look. And let's see here, listings to leads. Is this here? Let's document over here. Sorry, this is our business page. Yeah. So we have 13,000 people following us. We've been here for 15 years. So there's a lot of people that follow us. And you probably have, I don't know, 100, 250. I've talked to agents, they have 20, 30 people. You need to have 25 people follow your business page for Facebook to give you the ability to run ads. Okay. Because they don't want you to create a business page, not have any followers, and just start running ads because they're afraid that's going to be spam, right? So that's it. You need to have 25 people follow your page. Now, in our system, we can actually auto post content to your social media, so you don't have to. There's a section called social content. Let's log into the system and go look at that. And you should definitely go there, connect your social media accounts, tell us how many days a week you want us to post, and choose a bunch of topics. They're just conversational. It's over here, social content. It's colorful, conversational content that you don't need to touch. You can literally set and forget this, right? Now, this isn't ads. So you're not going to capture a lot of leads, but you can capture some leads. So when you come here, it's going to say, hey, connect your social media accounts. You can connect Google. We're getting feedback from our clients that use Google My Business, that their business pages are coming up on page one of Google because of the frequent content that they're posting, that we're posting automatically. The content is also colorful, right? It's good looking photographs, and it's helping other clients grow their Instagram networks. They see the content, they like it, they recognize you're a realtor, and they start following you. So it's good to connect your socials. Tell us how many days a week you want it. I really think one weekday and one weekend is good, but your choice. And then topics. And definitely what you want to do is make sure you're using our PDF guides, because we put landing pages. They're 40 for buyers, 40 for sellers. Put in your local holiday, right? And then probably I would recommend choosing like a few of these, right? Five in the home design, a couple in this area, maybe one of these and a couple of these, and save that. And then we're going to auto post stuff there, and that's going to just be free and you don't need to worry about it, but it starts to build it out. And the reason why I'm telling you this is that you should not be paying people to put content on your social media accounts, right? Because I know that there are people that do that. And you shouldn't really be wasting a lot of time doing it either. You should just turn on the automation on the page like I just did and have your socials filled with real estate related content, right? On a consistent basis. There's one more thing I want you to understand about a business page. When you have, let's just say you have 100 people following your page. We have 13,000. You might have 100. Only 5% of the people who follow you, your business page, will see anything you ever put there. Whether you hand type it, whether you did it yourself, or you use a company like us to put content there, or you have some other method of getting content there, only 5% of your followers will see it. And that's because Facebook suppresses your reach. They don't really want. It's funny, Facebook has been a public company for 10 years, maybe longer. One of the early things they did is they said, hey, create a free business page and go out there and put content on it. And we're going to make this searchable and people can see it. It's going to be awesome. And a lot of companies, Fortune 500 companies, hired like full-time staff to put content on their socials. And then Facebook said, hey, you know what? Now that we're a public company and we have to make money for our earnings, we're going to charge you. When you put this on here, we're not going to show it to the all 100 people that follow you. We're only going to show it to 5% of your followers. And so there's a little button here that will say boost. And if you click that button, they will charge you. And you can now say, oh, okay, now this is going to reach thousands of people for $5 a day or something. So give them some money. And that's really the thing. Now, I actually don't recommend boosting for realtors. And that's because depending on what you're doing, boosting could really not work. And so that gets into our deal of our ad software. And if you're going to be running ads on Facebook, you need to be using our ad software because we make it easy, but we also make it very effective. You'll notice that there are two buttons here, Facebook and Google. And I want to talk about Google because while I've been talking about Facebook, and Facebook is super cool, as I mentioned, it's the number 3 website in the country, lots of information. Yeah, maybe I guess there was an earthquake over here, so in the water. But the number 1 website on the internet, and definitely in the United States, is Google, okay? And on Google, this is where people ask questions. 86% of all questions asked, of everything, is asked on Google, okay? We don't go to Facebook and say, hey, what does it cost for me to sell my home or something like that? That if you lob something out there that's relevant, great. But if I have a question and I need an answer, 86% of the time, all Americans will come to this page and ask that question. Okay. And so there's a difference in the lead quality between Google and Facebook, because Facebook, people are just looking at it. They're sitting, drinking coffee and looking at Facebook, and they see something cool. And, oh, I want that watch. Boom, let's do it. But I went to Google because I had something that I needed to know. And now your ad is saying, hey, I've got a solution or an answer for you. And then we capture information there. Okay. So it's a higher quality, they call it higher intent lead, but more expensive. So I really only recommend thinking of Google when you want more listings. If you want listing leads, this is a place to invest some money. It's a lot of money. I don't know where you sit in the United States or if you're outside of the United States, but these leads, seller leads from a home valuation ad on Google can cost you anywhere from 15 to 30, maybe even $40 each per lead. Okay. So remember, that's the cost of one lead from Google. If we go over to Facebook, let's talk about the ways you can run ads on Facebook. And in Facebook, you can run ads for buyers. That's a slam dunk. And you absolutely, if you need buyers, you need to be running ads on Facebook. And let me tell you, I don't know if you want, tell me how long you've been a client. Do you think you're using 5% of our tools? A lot of agents are not, right? But a lot are starting to invest time and learn what they've got here. And they're generating hundreds and thousands of leads, right? Now, I do want to speak a little bit about conversion, because capturing leads is fun. And I can tell you our clients get excited because they've never seen so many leads for cost so simply, right? And that's cool. And so they get excited, but then comes the question of how do I engage these people and convert them into business? Because actually earning a little money is a little more fun. Let me have a sip of coffee here. So one thing about when it comes to conversion is obviously you need a drip campaign. We actually have drip campaigns over here. We call them follow-ups. You can turn them on for buyers and for sellers. We have them in English and in Spanish. Having a drip campaign is good. But I think the thing that most people want to do, most realtors, is they want to call those people right away, right? As soon as I get it, speed the lead, all that story, right? Now, the term speed the lead, I don't know if you ever heard that. It's fairly common in lead conversion. Call that lead immediately, especially when you heard from people like Zillow who were selling you leads and selling them to 3 other agents at the exact same time. You had to call them quickly, right? That term was created before smartphones were created. And our phones, my phone, will tell me the phone number of who's calling me. And if I don't know that person, I'm not going to be answering the phone. And the reason that people don't want to answer the phone is there's all kinds of insane scams and car warranty calls and solar panel calls. And God knows there's just so many ridiculous scams. You just have to answer the phone and say hello, and you are in danger of a scam. So people don't want to take your phone call. And if they do take your phone call and they don't know who you are, their response is going to be cold. And I don't know what that was. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you. Goodbye. That's a problem. And unfortunately, agents think, whoa, Facebook, these are crap leads. These are not good, because I call them and they don't even want to talk to me, right? But that's human nature, and that's the world we live in, okay? So when it comes to converting, I really recommend that you listen to what like Brian Mathewson is saying here. He's got software, and we actually have AI text follow-up now. We have AI text follow-up. So it's an add-on. And what it does is it's like super smart software, and it will ask questions of your leads, because we're getting phone numbers, and it'll text them back and forth until they're tired of texting and want to phone call. And then we send it to you and say, hey, they're ready to talk. This guy here, Brian, he has an office account with us. I set up the office accounts around the country, and he has an LPT office, and they've been using us for well over a year, and he's excited. This video is for his agents saying, hey, we ran an ad on this home in Conroe, Texas, and we generated 114 buyer leads with name, email, and phone number. And we converted 4 of them into home purchases in Texas. The cost of 114 buyer leads is about $350. Okay. The commission on 4 home purchases in Texas, I think, is more than $350. So there is some ROI there, right? So he's happy. But actually, at the second half of this video, what he's saying is we flipped the home to sold now, because we got all those leads and we flipped it to sold because we sold it. And then we ran an ad and we got one lead that we paid $4 for. And we texted that lead all morning until he booked a phone call with us at 4 p.m. And in that phone call, we're going to be talking about the fact that this man wants to sell a home for 400 grand and buy another for 450 grand. So that's 850 in volume from one ad and a $4 lead. Now, how the heck did he do it? He texted them in to get that person. And when you're texting them, don't have a paragraph of questions that people have to answer. I'm sure if you're talking to somebody, you're not going to ask them like questions for 30 seconds. You're going to go back and forth. Hey, is this the town you're thinking of? Yes, no, okay. Is this the price point? This is a 3-bedroom. Is that what you're looking for? You go back and forth. You go back and forth long enough and text, they become comfortable. They know that you're not like overrunning them. And then at some point they're tired of texting. They want to talk to you. You get the lead, you close the appointment, the phone call, and in the phone call, you close a meeting, and in the meeting, you close a contract, right? That is how you convert a lead. Now, I mentioned it that we have text follow-up, and where is it? I think it's on the leads page. Let's go look at it. It's AI technology, just asking questions. It's really good. It's really conversational, and it's closing real phone calls, real appointments. So I think it's on the leads section where you can sign up, or if not, it's on the profile. I'm going to leads now. Let's see if it's here. Taking kind of a long time. Let me look at the questions because I didn't do that. Yeah. Robert, you have on Facebook. Okay. How do I upload a farm to run ads? Yeah. Good question, Stephen. We'll get there. And Janita, you run ads on Facebook and Google. That's good. You're like 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 50 realtors who know how to run an ad on Google. We make it incredibly easy. So we'll look at that in a little bit. So over here, it says AI text follow-ups. So if you are running ads and you're doing this consistently and you're using our software, you're going to get leads on Facebook with name, email, and phone number. And if you are signed up for our AI text follow-up, it's going to just automatically reach out to those leads, whether they're buyers and sellers, and ask the appropriate questions until that person's going to say, well, I'd like to talk to you, right? Now, you could do that yourself. You don't have to use our AI text follow-up, but you should text them until they're ready to talk. And so let's talk about how we get the leads. Let's go back to the ad section, and let's start with Facebook. So Facebook, there are 3 kinds of ads that you should be running. We click create a listing ad, create a landing page ad, and a PDF guide ad. I don't really recommend doing anything custom because you really need to know what you're doing. And I'm going to make the assumption that you may not. If you use these 3 on the top, we've checked all the boxes for you. So let's do the easiest way to get buyer leads. Choose a property that's for sale, leave it on lead ads. I think you should always, every ad on Facebook, leave lead ads. I'll show you why in just a second. Click create ad. And I see questions here. Yeah, Tanji, this call is being recorded and it will be on our YouTube channel. I didn't mention that earlier, but let's send the link since you asked. This is the link to our YouTube channel, and this call is being recorded. It'll be on this channel either later today or tomorrow. Okay. This is a home that's for sale. All you had to do is hit the property and say, I want to create the ad, and it pre-writes it. And this right here works just like that. You don't need to do much. If you click in the box with the text, you could say, if there's something missing that you think is great, like maybe great schools or new custom kitchen or a horse barn or whatever, you can put it there, right? And it would be visible there. You don't want to go too far. I have seen some agents add a bunch of text, and it's counterintuitive, but less is better for you because you want to give enough information to make people interested, but not so much that they don't ask for information, because when they ask for information, that's when you get the lead, right? But there's a couple things that you can do. So we have a property that's for sale, and you might be in an area where people are moving to your area. right? Like we just signed up an office in Iowa by a lake, and there's a town called Big Spirit, right? And it's in the middle of, I don't even know, right? It's the middle of Iowa. And I was like, is there a big city where people come from, where they buy out there? Because it looks like a beautiful lake and there's a few towns. And he says, oh yeah, Omaha. People come from Omaha. They buy out here. I'm like, okay, then you want to type in Omaha and make sure that this home is showing in Omaha when you run the ad. Now, if you're in the southern states like Florida or Texas, you might want to market in northern states where they have horrible winters, right? Like Chicago. That place will kill you. I think my hair broke in Chicago once on the way to a taxi. And Chicago, yeah, what is it? Illinois, right? That's how you do it. If you're in Florida and you want to market something in New York City, you do that right there, right? If you're in Arizona and you want to market in Newport Beach, you do that right there. Really simple to do. Now, there's a 15-mile radius. You can always expand it, but you can't shrink it. So if you really want if you're targeting Chicago, that's a big place. I would say, hey, make that a really wide deal. But there is a cost per lead. You remember when I said that Brian here got a $4 lead? He ran a $50 ad. Okay, because it was for listing leads. So he ran a $50 ad. When we have buyer ads, they're $35. You can change it, but the average cost of a buyer lead is about $3 in the United States right now. Okay. So if I ran this ad, you divide 35 by 3 and you could expect about 11 leads. Okay. Maybe 12. And that number is not, when I give you an average, like that number goes up and down every day. It's never exactly the same cost per lead, but that's the average, $3, right? So you got to wonder, okay, if I run an ad for $35, I'm going to get 10 leads. What is your conversion rate, agents? There's a bunch of you on here. Do you have any idea of what you convert your leads at? Because the norm is 1%. So to get 100 leads at $3 each, you would need to spend $300, right? Now, Brian over here, he's converting at 4%, right? And so he spends $350 and he converts 4 of the 114 leads, right? That's how and that's how that works. You have to think of that. Like, part of you want to sell the home. Some of you want to sell the home. You want to market the home and you want to do a great service for the homeowner, right? But others are thinking, hey, I want to get more business too, right? I want to use this listing and I want to get more business. This lady here, Angie, this is in November 20th, which is 2 weeks ago, said, hey, I just closed this home. This lady found me from a just sold ad. I marketed a home that I sold it with our ads, and she saw it. It's in her neighborhood and she wants me to sell her home too. Pretty easy. So that's just one ad, right? And in Brian's case, he ran multiple ads to get 114 leads, but he ran only one ad to get a seller lead and was able to convert it. So the conversion rate on some of our biggest teams is somewhere between 1% and 4%. Teams tend to focus more on converting leads than individual agents. I don't know why that is. Maybe there's more mouths to feed. And maybe they have people who are just dedicated to that, right? That's like their role. But agents, they're distracted. They're realtors, right? Every 15 seconds, your brain's going another direction. So all that being said, there's a couple more things that you can do here. If you have invested in video on your property, you can upload a video. You see this here? It says change image and video. Click that button. And video is actually really powerful, right? So if you have a video, upload it right here and it will remove this photo and put in a video so that if I'm just scrolling by, this video is going to start moving. And you know how we're all ADD nation now, a video is going to slow me down and I'm going to look at it. There's another thing that's useful. If you don't have video, you can click the button and you can choose 5 different images. The cover here, the kitchen, the bedroom, 5. That's 5. And click insert. And this creates a carousel ad. And so people can get a little more of an idea of what you've got, right? And if you don't like the order, because I don't want the swimming pool right there, you just go over here and you change the order. You drag them up and down, and that controls the order, right? So carousel ads are good. Video ads are even better. Okay. And boom, create an ad. That's it. There are a lot of things you have to do in Facebook to have a successful ad. If you're running ads in Facebook, you probably very easily could not have a successful ad. If you're doing what I'm showing you here, you're probably going to have a successful ad. Now, I want to show you one more thing under advanced options. And you don't have to do this, but it's just for your knowledge, for your education. We're using something called Facebook lead forms. And that means that we have full name, ask for full name, email, and phone number. And it looks just like this on Facebook. Okay. And also, if it's a buyer lead, it's going to say, what's your time frame to buy? And if it's a seller lead, what's your time frame to sell? And that's it. And so they click here, and now we drop them on a tool so they can see the details of whatever it is that they're looking for, right? This is really key to understand. That name, phone number, and email is pre-populated on Facebook from their profile. This is why you're getting accurate name, phone number, and email. If you ask somebody to fill that out, Lord knows what you're going to get, right? But by using Facebook, people are so comfortable with clicking yes that you're getting that contact information. I hope you understand that, because if you look in listings to leads, you will recognize that there are literally hundreds of tools to capture leads, but nothing is more effective at getting leads with name, email, and phone number than using our ad software on Facebook. Okay. Any questions about what I just said? Do I need to repeat that? Okay. What if you don't have any listings at this time? That's a good question. That's a good question. We'll answer that in a minute. Can we promote a YouTube video? No, you need to download you need to have the hard file on your computer. Eight things to know before buying a home in Florida. Yeah, they click the ad, it drops on the LL page, captures their information, sends a YouTube link to their cell phone, and with that follow-up later. I don't think so. No, Gary, there is something that you can do. You can create a custom landing page, but I don't even think you can do all that. And first of all, you can't put a YouTube video on the ad where it would be showing in this image right here. So there was a question that was asked, what if you don't have listings? And it's an important question, because most of the time, most agents don't have listing, right? So there's a couple things. You can go to the listings page and you can borrow listings. So if you're trying to get buyers, the fastest way to get buyer leads is to market a home that's for sale, even if it's not yours. And so maybe somebody in your office has a home for sale. Maybe you're holding an open house for them. You can click grab, drop in the zip code MLS ID. It will then be pulled in here, and you can run an ad on it and get buyer leads. Okay. But also, maybe you sold something recently and you can run an ad on that. Give me a second. You can run an ad on sold properties or properties that are pending. And if you sold it like a month or two ago, that's fine. I would definitely be running ads on it, right? And I have a property here that's sold. I'm going to click on Facebook and Instagram ads. We're going to pre-write the ad. And all you have to do, let's just wait for it to bake, is click the green button that says create ad. And this says, hey, this home is sold. It affects your home value. Click here to get your free home value. That's what's happening, right? And let's click here. We'll just look at the form. You'll recognize that it's asking for the name, email, and phone number. And then it says, click here to get your free home valuation. So they will click there, and then they land on the landing page that they can fill out, right? That's how that works. So this is the cheapest way of getting seller leads from Facebook, running ads on properties that are sold or under contract. Okay. These leads cost on average about $7 each. When we look at the call here, when I showed you a minute ago of Brian Mathewson, who is saying, hey, we ran an ad on a sold property. He did exactly that. If you look in the notes, you will see that I asked Brian, did you do anything special to that ad to get a seller lead like that? And he said, nope, I just clicked on your buttons and went for it. I didn't change anything. I just clicked Facebook and Instagram. The home was sold, and I clicked create ad. That was it. Okay. And that's how he's getting seller leads, and he's texting them and closing it. Okay. So that's the listing side of things. But that there was a question of what if I don't have listings and you don't have any listings and nothing sold recently and nothing, you're not borrowing any. We have a lot of landing pages and we have 80 PDF guides. Okay. So the PDF guides, when you sign up, you go to your profile, you put in your logo, you put in your colors and your headshot. And on these PDF guides, they're all about 5 or 6 pages long. They're 80, 40 for buyers and 40 for sellers. And you and your logo are on every page and your color scheme is on every page. Now, if you go here to the PDF guide section and you say, there are multiple ways of advertising. You can get print tools, you have QR codes, you have e-flyers, and you can also run ads on Facebook. Now, the one thing about PDF guide leads is they tend to cost a little bit more. So a buyer lead on Facebook ad for a listing is $3. A seller lead from a sold property is about $7. A seller lead from any one of the 40 PDF guides is on average about $10 a lead. Okay. So if you wanted to do something like 12 mistakes to avoid, you could click on marketing tools and then click on Facebook ads. And again, we pre-write the ad. Lead ads means we're getting pre-populated name, email, and phone number, and you could type in the name of the town where you want to target. And then you could also say, hey, you know what? I actually drive, I'm happy driving 30 minutes. So I'm going to put a 30-minute radius, a 30-mile radius. And it's all pre-written and bang, you hit create ad. We have a $35 budget for 7 days. If the leads cost $10 each, you're going to get 5 leads. Okay. So that's one thing you can do if you don't have listings. You got 80 PDF guides. You also have landing pages, and we give you a few. I mentioned this at the beginning of the call. You can create unlimited landing pages in your accounts, and you should definitely have landing pages for instant home values for a variety of towns if you're trying to get business in a variety of towns, right? One for each town. And I often say, make sure you customize that and make sure that the picture on the landing page looks like something that people will recognize, because when you're running an ad and you're asking them for information, again, here's one here from Memphis. You want something that the locals are going to know that you're not a national spam company, right? That you're actually their market. Now, I picked a super touristy spot here. So I wouldn't do the most touristy spot, but something that the locals would know. And then you just type in Memphis and you go for it. Boom. These leads are the most expensive Facebook leads you'll get. They're on average $15 each. Okay. So you run an ad for $50. If they're charging you $15, expect 3 leads. And that kind of throws people off because they feel like, oh, it didn't work very well. And that's because they don't understand the cost per lead. And sometimes it's $20 a lead. So you're only going to get 2 leads, and that's actually a success. It's just that your budget was so small. So those are the kinds of things you can do. We also have landing pages for new construction. We have landing pages for first-time home buyers. There's all kinds of stuff. So there are ads that you can run and capture leads with if you don't have a listing. Okay. So let's go back to the ads page and let's talk about Google. And if you have questions, just let me know. Just put them in the chat panel and I'll address them. Now, Google is an add-on. It's $30 a month. There's 2 things that I definitely recommend that you're doing when you choose to use Google, and that is to focus on getting listing leads. So for a landing page, you might want to have a Memphis or whatever landing page you want, Memphis, right? And click create ad, and we pre-write it. We pre-write the whole. This is honestly, there's only one person here who said that she ran an ad on Google. And did you have a success with that ad? This is how you have a successful ad on Google. You type in the name of the city that matches your landing page. If you click view link, you don't have to, but you'll see that this is the landing page we're driving the traffic to. And this is where we're going to ask their address and contact. It's a $50 a day budget, not $50 a week, $50 a day. Okay. Why is that? Now, earlier I mentioned that leads from Google are expensive because it's the #1 website. In Dallas, Texas, a lead from an ad like this, it costs $30 each. Western Pennsylvania, $22. In Utah, $17. And the price is different all around. It really depends on local competition, other realtors running ads. You could potentially spend $350, but you'd have a lot of leads at the end of the week for that, right? That if you said that. But don't forget the farm question. Let me see that question. I forgot it. How do we upload a farm? Oh yeah. So that's if we go to, well, let's finish here and then that's custom audience, which is actually, it's worth talking about. We'll look at it in just a second. So creating a Google ad, we could do a landing page, or again, we could do a PDF guide. And actually, if you go to the mastermind group, you will see that one of the agents ran this ad on 12 mistakes to avoid on Google. And whatever town he was in, I don't even know where he lives. He just chose his town. And just for your knowledge, I'm clicking on advanced options. These are all the keywords that we're putting in. These things over here are called headlines. You have to have multiple headlines and you have to have multiple descriptions. This is the description area. So if you go to Google and do this yourself, all of these things that are hidden here, you have to do, okay? And we're doing it automatically. So all you have to do is choose the tool you want and just type in the name of the town that you want and click create ad. It's really easy. And one of our clients ran this exact PDF guide and got a listing out of it, right? That's awesome. That's what we're all about. That's what we're trying to do here. So let's answer that question that somebody's, how do we upload a farm? And so there's a couple things. The answer is to create a custom audience. Now on Google, you can't create a custom audience unless you spend more than $500,000 on ads. So I don't think any of you are going to be doing that anytime soon. If you're a Fortune 500 company, they would give you, when you're spending $500,000, your Coca-Cola, they're going to give you some more functionality. As a small person like us, we're not getting that. But on Facebook, you can't. And so when you see this button that says create audience, call it whatever you want. Call it Memphis homeowners, right? And you buy that list. Like whoever asked about the farm, do you have a list? Where did you get the list? I actually recommend this, and I'm going to give you a big caveat. I've been talking about this for more years than I can remember because we have this software. We make it incredibly easy. And so I've been telling clients every week, go to remind.com, go to redx.com, go to listsource.com or ArchAgent or wherever and get a list of homeowners with more than 5 years equity with name, email, phone number, and address, right? I've told everybody this. Anybody who listens to my calls, I pretty much say almost every phone call, every class like this. And then you upload it, you call it whatever you want to call it, my favorite farm, whatever. Hold on. And it has to look in this format. You see, it says use this format. Exactly. When you buy a list, it's going to have probably 20 or 30 columns of data, right? Square footage, bedrooms. So you just save that for future use and make a copy and just have those 4 columns with those 4 headings, just in that order, and upload it and import it. And that is what we're just a bridger. We're uploading that into your private Facebook account. So if you stop working with us, you're still going to have that custom audience. I'm going to give you a little homework. And if you hear anything, you let me know. I'm Vince at Listings to Leads. But if you type in custom audience on YouTube and changes, I've heard recently that they're going to stop allowing you to use custom audiences. Okay. Now you may not know this but Facebook was sued by HUD for illegal ads, discriminatory ads run by realtors and by mortgage lenders. And at that time, there was a lot of targeting that you could do with Facebook. And when HUD sued them, they fined them huge. And they also gave them this other kind of fine. He said, the next time you have any illegal ad, it will cost you $100,000 per ad. That's illegal. So Facebook just said, oh, let's just go in our software and remove anything that when you're creating an ad that can be used against us. That's discriminatory. And believe me, it's a lot. It makes targeting on Facebook really weak, not very good. So the workaround is to create an audience of a group of people that you know that fit that deal. Now there's a problem there because that list there might be something wrong. What I've seen in the past couple of weeks, and I'm going to try and find out, do some more research, is that they're going to not allow you to use some of those. So that question of how do you create a farm, you do it exactly like I did here. Yeah, Steven, so you got your list from a title company, and yeah. And so that is, the question is, you want to find out and make sure you're not going to be running afoul of anything. Another thing is it needs to be minimum 1,000 leads long. Now, over here where I live, there's a neighborhood called Release Valley. Beautiful homes. It's a small area, really only 500 homes in that neighborhood. If I wanted to target that neighborhood, I would get that list of 500 homes, and I get another 500 homes that are adjacent, because if you upload a list of 500 people, they will not allow you to use it to target. So it's got to be minimum 1,000 names long. And Steven is saying he got his list from a title company. And I know a lot of our clients do that. You don't want to try to get these lists with name, email, and phone number. And not all title companies can do that. Okay. And the reason being is when you upload it to Facebook, Facebook uses that contact information and finds those people, finds their profiles, and puts them in a list that you can never really dive in and look at. But that's what it is. And then when you run the ad and you target those people, it's right there. So let's run an ad. Let's go landing page. And let's do one here for Orinda. It's a home valuation landing page. I'm going to type in the zip code so that will pull in some sales data and create an ad. Okay. Now I have a landing page for Orinda, but I want to show you what's really going on. And this can often not work for clients, for agents, right? They run this ad. I've got a picture of the old theater that's about 100 years old. You would think that if I type in Orinda, that boom, click the ad and I'm good to go, right? That is not going to be that effective, actually. And I'll show you why. Now, you probably don't know Orinda, but it's a little town, 5 minutes from me, 22,000 people, surrounded by other towns. There's like on every border is another town. And when you run an ad on Facebook, it says minimum 15-mile radius. What does that mean? 15-mile radius around Orinda means that this ad that is only talking about Orinda is going to be seen by over 1 million people who don't live in Orinda. Like everybody on this map right here is going to see this ad targeting the 22,000 people right here. That's why I've been telling clients for years, create a custom audience. Don't type in Orinda up here. Go down here, check this box, and type in the name of your custom audience. I have a custom audience here for whatever you call it, right? Whatever you call it. Orinda homeowners, Memphis homeowners, whatever. That's how you do it. Does everybody understand what a custom audience is? And it's only really important. It's definitely important if you are trying to build out a particular farm, which was asked here, right? If you had one, I know a lot of realtors, they work in 5 or 10 different towns and their business kind of spread out evenly. Okay, then you would want to create a landing page for each town. But if you had one town, Orinda, maybe you live in Orinda, you want to buy that list and you want to really be targeting with all kinds of ads. Just keep targeting those people. Or you can just say, oh, you know what? I'm happy to shoot this ad on a 15-mile radius and hit people in Silicon Valley, which I will never drive to because that traffic is just insane. Like that, those are the things that you're dealing with a 15-mile radius. If you live out in Elk, Nevada, there's nothing for 50 miles. So a 15-mile radius is no big deal, right? So anyway, that's how you create that. And actually, it's not a bad thing to do as well. If you're an agent who's been around for a while and you've been buying leads for a while, you might have thousands of leads in your CRM. You could upload those as an audience and run your ads in front of them because you probably have a drip campaign going, right? And you're emailing them. Now you can go, oh, I'm also going to run an ad on those same people. So that's what you can do with Facebook and Google. Man, I don't know who was calling me, but somebody really wants to chat. Oh, anyway, any questions? That's the end of my story. Any questions about what's going on here? I want to remind you that there's a handout section. If you got in late, please print these out and leave them on your desk. You want more listings, use these tools. If you want to be running Facebook and Google ads, this is really the list of the things you can do. I don't see any more questions, so I want to thank you for hanging out with me today. This call is being recorded, and you can see it on our YouTube channel. I gave you a link to that earlier. If you have questions, let me know. We've got a great support team. My contact info is on the page on our website here somewhere, or I'm at Vince@Listings to Leads here. Where did you say to buy the names, emails, etc.? There are 4 companies that you can do that. One is, there's probably more than that, but Arch Agent I've heard is really good and affordable. You really want to try to get name, email, and phone number. A lot of people know Remind.com, redx.com. Jesus, sorry, I'm going to have to go. That's my mom blowing up my phone, and I don't need that. redx and List Source. I think they all do this. I'm sure there are other companies. Cole Resource also has this, and I think even Vulcan 7. You want people with equity. All right, everybody, I got to go. I hope this helped you. Get on our YouTube channel. Definitely spend some time there learning what you have access to. This platform is super powerful. You're welcome, Matt. Everybody, enjoy the holidays and keep safe in the winter weather. Oh, one last thing. Price of leads on all these platforms is really driven a lot by competition. And your competitors, other realtors just like you, are beginning to take their winter nap. And the cost of leads on Facebook is going to be dropping the closer you get to Christmas. So you can build your database at 50 cents on the dollar. It can even be more effective than that. So thanks, everybody. Enjoy the holidays. Thanks for hanging out with me. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.